then that does not actually reflect the number of people that are actually supposed to be employed when we come to considering the number of people that are in this country that are disabled. The project actually will do a lot of awareness raising, and we feel that will in a way help in trying to enlighten companies to know what their stake is in this whole project. Like I said, the mission for this particular project is to create that link between employment opportunities, create the linkage for the quality of employment opportunities for persons with the disabilities in the Gambia. And we are going to do this by working with potential employers, training institutions, and organizations, government departments, parastatals in this country. In doing that, we will be doing a lot of sensitization, advocacy, and one-to-one meetings with various departments. Basically, the project is about that, and I will allow my colleague, Teresa's colleague, to also dilate on some of the activities that we will be doing to involve our partners in doing this noble work.
Thank you. Teresa is the only lady in our midst here. Tell us, what are the activities, some of the activities of the project?
Well, as Idris has rightly mentioned, the most important part of this project is to bridge the gap between training of people, persons with disabilities, and employment. That is the main aim of this project. And in so doing, we felt that the first people we can get in touch with the institutions that are actually training these people. Because if we get them trained, we'll be able to get them employed. And the focus is getting these people that are actually skilled to be employed. And the training institutions are where one big body that we visited. We went through the National Training Association, and we have their list of institutions that are actually registered with them. We visited them, almost about over 62 institutions. We visited them, and we invited them out to come out to meet with us in a workshop forum and discuss these issues. And my colleague here, Senia, would agree with me. With the little information we've got in terms of employment and disability, it's just 1% of the population of the disabled people are actually employed. So we can see the difference. The gap is big, and we can't sit back and say we're going to do nothing. They have to be employed. They're part of the society. They have the right to be employed. We don't want them to be liabilities to other people. We don't want them to be on the streets begging. We want them to be able to be independent, economically viable. They want to have families. They want to have children. So how can we do that? If we allow them to sit at home and not have employment, we have to get up and help them get this employment. They have the right to it. We have to give it to them. And in so doing, we've met these institutions, we've discussed with them. The project is going to run in quarterly forms. Within this first quarter, our target is to make sure that people are being sensitized. They've been aware of what is going on, the presence of this project. And then what role can they play as training institutions? Because they are the first door for these persons with disabilities to be able to be trained so that they can get this employment.
Well, this is a very, very important project. We have all heard what they have said. Like the old saying, disability does not mean inability. And we have a lot of people living with disability in this country who are contributing immensely to the productive sectors of this country. So definitely, bridging that gap so that they can come and participate and contribute to our development, to the country's development, is very, very crucial. Mr. Kamara, let's comment back to you. How difficult a task are you guys embarking on?
Yes, it is a difficult task simply because people need to understand what disability is and what need to be done about it. And because before you help, you should know, what you're really going to help on. Knowing that the magnitude of disability in the Gambia is getting high, we should be able to make provisions. We should be able to make provisions to cater for them so that they also play their quota in national development. In that doing, there is a lot of sensitization going on, whether you know it or not, but at our own level, we are doing a lot of sensitization, whether in the local language, in the papers, and of course TV now that we are lucky. Congratulations and thanks for that matter. We are on it. And the fact that, yes, they live with us, we should mind that there are certain things we should not always do for them. They should also be trained to do certain things for themselves. This is why in rehabilitation, we have four categories which we always want to, target and portray our clients in that matter. And I say client, I'm talking about a person with disability. Here, the first part would be getting the person to be personally independent, that is to do things for him or herself without anybody helping. Let's say when it comes to clothing, washing, and grooming, those are all certain things that people, would need to do with dignity, rather than somebody doing it for you. What about if that person is not there tomorrow? It will be another thing. So you would tend to be more dependent. The second aspect is the technical part of it, which is the provision of technical devices that we call assistive devices. Perhaps somebody who has difficulty walking would need a stick or with a crutch or would need a wheelchair. These are all things that you need to provide for this person to be able to function or move about, so that he could also do his or her own, things. The other aspect is the economic independence, which my mom was talking about. Here is where the EES is coming up, so that we give them that form of training, that opportunity for them to have a way of earning an income, whether it is vocational training or education. I'm glad that, yes, education is doing a lot in trying to, make them feel that they are integrated into the system. A lot has been done and is also in progress, especially with the special needs education unit under MOPSI. They're doing a lot of things, and we appreciate it, and we just stay a way of saying that, yes, come the target period, a lot of our people with disability who are in the learning process will be able to at least acquire a form of Western education. Because if you look at the statistics of the last study we did, it was not much, but it was more of a contextual issue of research. We found out that 70% of, males who are affected with disability, one form of disability or not, have not in fact gone to normal schools, never attended school. And 75% of females also never attended school. So you find out that we are talking about ratio of 30 to 25%. But then if you further break that down, we are only saying 11% attended primary, that is lower basic, and 4.5% attended either middle or upper basic. So, and out of that, that's where the employment comes in, because we are only talking about 1% out of the 4.5% that had or have employment. So you find out that, yes, there is this need to keep, these people on the move so that they don't sit in the streets to ask for arms. Notwithstanding the bulk of the majority who have not attended school, where would they be? They are either in our houses, in our compounds, or in the streets asking for arms. So we need to cater for them so that they are at least also being trained, either vocationally or literally, so that they will be able to have a way of contributing towards their own living, and of course to the living of their families, because they also need to have families. It's their right. The last aspect of the rehabilitation is the inclusion. We call it social integration. It is inclusion. We need to put them on board in all of our programs and activities, be it public or private sector. We need to include them because they are also part of it. They are also part of us, and they need to enjoy what the national cake is about for us. Yeah. So this is a nutshell to give you a view of what disability is telling us about.
Idrissa, the project, I believe, is in the early phase, but how far have you gone? And you also mentioned you'll be going out to sensitize, and what sort of a sensitization campaign are you embarking on, and who are going to be your target groups, which institutions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo. Our target group here will be government department, our parent body organizations like the DPOs we'll be talking to, because we feel charity begins at home. They are the people first we need to sensitize about their role in the whole project. When we sensitize those guys, of which we did already, we had meetings with them. We've met their various DPOs, if not at the grassroots level, we've met their head offices